Jovan came in, heard what was being said, went straight out into the nest and told Shabby. Within 2 minutes, it was maybe less than 2 minutes of Jovan leaving, Shabby came running in and started shouting and stuff. It just all got out of hand, all got totally out of hand.
And the whole house is done.
Yeah, a whole house.
Yeah, and then, but it was basically because Jovan had gone out and said stuff to Shabby. I think they must have shown all that. It must have made Jovan look bad.
Yeah, I do object to it because I stood next to Ben and, you know, made sure he didn't just get...
Oh, yeah, when it all kicked off by the sofa.
Yeah.
Did you get dragged into it?
I felt that Ben was a little bit... What Ben had done was a little bit indefendable. It was like... It was difficult to defend what had gone on, wasn't it? It was like one of those... Because me and John were reeling the fact that he had put Sunshine up. When, like, you know, we were, like, in bed together, like, all there in bed together, talking. Like, me, Ben, you, and Sunshine were, like, really tight, weren't we? You know what I mean? And it was like we hung out together. John used to come in occasionally as well. So for Ben to put Sunshine up and say he didn't feel close to her was, like, a little bit strange, wasn't it? So I said to Ben, I said, look, I don't even know how you're going to defend yourself. It's like, what can you say? We were all in bed together. We were all hanging out together. And you put her up for eviction when there's another flipping 8 or 9 people you could have chose.
Oh, those early days of fun.
Dude, they were wild, them early days, man.
Problem with that big house argument is that everybody... Actually, Josie's the only one that didn't say anything. She was chilled out about it. But then everybody else, like...
No, I had a little go at Jovan.
Oh. Yeah. Just like I think a lot of people had things they wanted to say anyway, and that argument was just a chance to, you know, for a lot of other people to just get things off their chest maybe they'd been thinking about. So it just turned into World War III. It wasn't that bad as far as Big Brother arguments go. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was just like a heated discussion. It was more of a discussion than an argument, wasn't it? I think off the back of that shot.
Do you know the bit that'll always make me laugh? I remember Ben and Shabby were like, Ben was going to Shabby like, oh, but you know I like you, Shabby. And Shabby goes, but I don't like you, Ben.
He said that?
Yeah. And Ben was going, oh, okay, you know, like, oh, can we just, you know, put this all behind us and be friends? And Shabby was like, no, we can't put this behind us, and I don't want to be your friend.
Shabby was amazing like that. She was funny. Shabby was the most entertaining, amusing person in you. The only thing that let her down was like that, you know, that negativity that came on her. You know what I mean? That was like hard to deal with at times. But apart from that, she was amazing.
She was polar opposites. When she was high, the house was high, and when she was low, the house was low. I'm interested. I'd love to be able to see. I'd love if any of them changed their styles when they got her here. Like, do you think Shabby would still be in a hat and overalls? Do you think she might have had a complete style change?
No, I don't think so. I think Nathan will be pretty much the same. I think everyone will be pretty much the same.
I wonder what Sunshine will look like.
Yeah, probably the same. I wonder if she'll come as a vet or Sunshine. I know it's going to go.
Probably Sunshine.
I'd like to meet a vet one day. I saw her briefly.
Vet was on holiday for most of the time in here. She's gone to the Seychelles.
We'll probably only briefly see the old housemates.
Yeah.
Just be on the stage and then maybe see them back at the hotel or whatever.
Definitely. I'm guessing that after tomorrow's all done and over, I'm guessing we'll all be staying in the same hotel, so we can all meet in the lobby and just have a few drinks and just catch up on what everyone's been up to in the last 11 weeks.
And then they'll probably end up going home, I would have thought, the next day, and we'll probably end up staying to do, like, BBLB or Big Mouth, whatever. And then do our press conferences, won't we?
And then, like
I can't see them doing our press conferences tomorrow night, because it'll just take too much time with the 5 of us and whatever.
They may want to just, because I'm pretty sure they'll want to do us individually anyway. It'll be like the press that the whistle, minute each. And then we'll probably go home on Friday. That'd be cool, man. Walk into my local pub Friday evening after spending 11 weeks in a Big Brother house.
It's going to be funny.
That would be the surrealist thing ever.
It's going to be strange driving up to my mate's house, going in and seeing him. He's like a Big Brother fan, and like he's one of my best mates. So he was sort of letting me know what it was all about and how it was, and in here, and like he had to explain to me, or sometimes the housemates don't want you in, but the public do, and sometimes the public want you out, but like they don't get to get their hands on you. You have to like explain all that stuff to me. And I didn't realise none of that. And then he was telling me, I was saying like what sort of people do well in there, and he said it's people that like usually you go on a journey with, and you see them progressing and changing. Public seem to latch on to you because they see you coming out and different aspects of your character evolving and wherever. So he loved the Celebrity Big Brother one. He really enjoyed that. Do you think this would have been a good Big Brother for people in terms of like comparing it with the other ones?
Yeah, definitely.
You think so?
We wouldn't have had all these celebrities come in if it wasn't good. It would have avoided us like a barge pole.
I don't think it's been boring. I think every day there's been entertainment, and then there's been stuff going on, and I think they've obviously invested a lot of money in the tasks and different things to make sure that.
I think they also made sure they picked very carefully who they put in this year.
Think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Quite ordinary people in some respects.
Yeah, ordinary but quirky.
Yeah.
I think that's the best kind of mix you can get, rather than
calling me quirky, more.
Yeah, I think it's quirky.
You're quirky, Dad.
I think Ben's the most quirky one they had in here.
Oh,
I've never ever met anyone quite like Ben. What a flipping character. I even after I was like one of his best mates in here, and I'd spent like 5-6 weeks with him, I was still wondering whether he was an actor or not. I was still thinking like, is this guy real? Is he putting this on? Is this who he really is? Because like, he was one of the strangest units I'd ever come across. Gotta be said.
And you've come across some strange.
I've come across some right weirdos, I'm telling you. But Ben was like so unusual. Fucking heck. Amazing guy. Amazing. He's the sort of person I'd connect with on the outside. You know what I mean? Someone like that. Like I used to work in tandem, but when we had our Ministry of Merge Wales that run for about 5 years. The other guy who I was in ministry with, it was like Merge Wales was me and this other guy, and I was like always like a quirky, flamboyant, like wear my heart on my sleeve, get into trouble for what I was saying, whatever, you know what I mean? Like very spiritual. He was very logical, used to reason things through, and like I always brought the other element. So like when we did our first Slosh Fest, I just thought, well man, this is what God is doing. We're all getting drunk, we're all getting whacked. Let's put on this Slosh Fest and have a massive like Holy Ghost rave. And even to the point where I was getting the flyers together for it and designing the flyers, he was on the phone to me saying, dude, you sure you don't want to change the name of this? Can we go a different way? And I'm like, nah, let's just do this thing. And he sort of stood with me and he said, look, I'll stand with you, and like, you know, if everything goes into the ground, I'm standing with you, but this is your baby, this is yours. And it was like a massive step of faith, because nothing like this had ever been done as far as I know in the UK before. It was like portraying God in a way that he had never been portrayed before, and it was like a massive step of faith. And the first one came, and it was like, it took everything to another level, took our whole ministry to another level.
How many guests did you get for the first one?
The first one between 300 and 400.
Yeah,
and it was just like one big, massive party.
Did it work straight away? Was everyone getting drunk straight away?
It was like crazy. It was mad. The last night finished with water all over the floor. People wrapped up in like, we must have had like 500 toilet rolls that everyone was wrapped up in. Everyone was soaked.